untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Rise of Legio CSGO tournament powered by Lenovo and Intel, and we have AFK Gaming as our media partner. It is me, your host Apollonia, and joining me is our favorite caster and analyst, Shade Slayer. How are you doing for the second half, Shade?
Hey Apple, I'm doing awesome. I'm super hyped. Two more round of 16 matches heading your way. First one, of course, Tata Gaming versus Albino. Tata Gaming, a team that we don't know too much about. Albino, we did get to see them in the round of 128, which seems like just yesterday, but it's actually been quite a while, Apple.
Exactly right. It was in the round of 120, but right now, guys, we are in the round of 16. So the teams that you see winning today will move on to the quarterfinals. And you know what quarterfinals means? It means prize money and a whole lot more good stuff. And so this upcoming game, let's talk about the map that they'll be facing. Both these teams, the last maps that they have played was Inferno. So, you know, it is a very comfortable map. What can we expect in this game now, Shay?
I think there's nothing much to be said more about Mirage. We've seen this map a hell lot of bit throughout the tournament, including I think Mirage Inferno has been the go-to pick. We've seen a fair bit of Overpass as well, but these two maps are the comfort fix for most of the teams that are here, and you do see quite a bit of newer names having made it through to the round of 16, and that's a very promising sign. The fact that there's a lot of talent out there and they're getting a really good platform to demonstrate that on. That being said though, as we discussed earlier in the previous segment, this is the last time that these teams will have to play a best of one. So that last bit of hurdle that they need to overcome, let's see who comes out on top.
All right, I'm very excited to see Tata Gaming, especially. We haven't spectated them at all. We don't know what they're capable of. They had a couple of, you know, very close games, and then the rest were, you know, pretty much one-sided in their favor. As for Team Albino, we saw what they could do. They do fight hard. They have great momentum, and hopefully they bring this to the table in this third match of the day. Now, guys, you are watching the second half of the Rise of Legio CSGO tournament powered by Lenovo and Intel. So
we are actually ready to jump straight into the action as round one gets on its way. It is going to be Team Albino starting on the CT side, Tata Gaming on the T side. OG, take it away.
It's going to be Mirage, a map that we all know and love. I guess for the Indian scenario, quite a bit. So we've been seeing quite the tendency to see Mirage in this best of one, where previously Team Albino, they've shown us that they're more than capable on this map, and I think we might have a round restart coming in, if I'm not mistaken. But nonetheless, it's Mirage. We've seen this to be a little D-side leaning shade. I'll be honest. I expected to be T-side leaning, but the majority of these games have been going on the way of momentum. So the pistol round is going to be something that we all should be a little eager to witness. I feel like Team Albino, though, have the better end of the firepower. Tata Gaming, they're all new names, right? You said this in the pregame, and I feel attached to this sentiment really strongly that getting new players into the Indian scene is very, very crucial. This allows the game not to be as stale in the professional scenario, which, I'll be honest, a few months ago, I thought the Indian scene is getting a little too stale considering they have only like 5 organizations on top, with already knowing who the following 5 would be underneath them. Having these names where I doubt you would have heard them, Shade, because even I haven't, for that matter of fact. It's just a delight to watch, and coming all the way deep through this, what I'd say a very tough tournament, a very cutthroat tournament in that as well, considering single elimination, best of ones all the way. One of these teams making it to a best of three is going to be massive shade. From there on out, it's going to be even harder for, I'd say, an underdog to even upset, because it's a best of three, right? It's meant to give you more consistent and stable results. I guess that's where the journey is going to start getting a little hard for a couple of these teams, but it's still going to be a journey nonetheless. And at the end of the day, it's about the long road, right? It's not about the end of the journey where you're going to go and relax. Let's hope that both these teams are going to have the best possible game that they can today, as it's going to be Albino on the CT side, Dada Gaming on the T side as they push through underpass. Not the strat that we are accustomed to seeing on the pistol. With this bomb retrieve, they're going to buy distraction towards A. The smoke towards B short is going to allow the other game to just push through connected completely undetected. Little audio cue given though, and now the A side under siege is going to be retake, but with them being on the backline so early, Shade, it's going to be really hard for Dada Gaming to do much.
Yeah, the backstab comes through, but it's going to be a second too late here. They get the opening frag. They chuck under Palace and they get to Starix.
And the bomb set up a default. This is not even planned for jungle, Shade. Oh boy. Adal should be able to get the defuse in at the nick of time. The other gaming, I'm not sure if it's communications and nerves, but when they were playing for a jungle post plan, I assumed it was planted inverse default, but it was just planted to its default, and an easy pistol run for Team Albino. It's just aggression all throughout the board, but at the end of the day, Albino, the luck favors their end.
There was a gamble coming in from Dada Gaming post plant. Despite not having the plant put for jungle, we saw 3 Ts heading in that direction and completely getting sandwiched between the players who were hitting in through connector and murder hole, eventually giving the round up to the CTs. Second time in a row, we've seen VK move up aggressive very early in the round, up mid, and that's a lot of information given away.
Geez, I'm gonna be in retreat though, so was Skirmish about to break out VK? Well, the MP9 is really good at this range, but he's only good for 1. They do end up getting the trade, and now Albino with a little bit of information that the other gaming are not gonna fully commit to its aid just as of yet. Although Premium, he's pushed through Firebox, and with the rest of the flashes barraging in, Team Albino, they rotate accordingly. The Molotov will deny perhaps another man on the white swing. The HP on some of these players are so low. It still is possible for Dada Gaming, but it's going to be really, really hard. Oh, he's bought the gun barrel, but no, ends up getting that frag. Zoom, not as well concealed as he imagined. The smoke through Palace as Starks is going to swing wide. And this should be a comfortable... What? What just happened? Why did they rush it like that? That looked a little haphazard. They are able to secure the round though, and they should be able to secure the M4. Please tell me they're able to find the M4. There we go. I'm not gonna lie, Shade. Things got a tad bit iffy towards the end there.
They should have completed that round with at least 3 players up, but instead it comes down to 2 with Starix on 1 HP. Dada Gaming, they get the plant in, they move in with 3 Ts post plant, 2 playing from Palace, and it almost ends up being a disaster there for Albino, but it did cost them having to rebuy on quite a few players here for round number 3, while Dada Gaming, they've got the 5 AKs, but early damage taken by Wawa.
Yeah, a little bit of early damage dealt, but Albino seemed to be in the control of things. Dada Gaming investing in the buy mid. So far, not as heavily contested by the CG side. In fact, gifted Dada Gaming for a little time, that is. Premium rush. Spots player out, but Zudi wins it out clean and secure. A 2-man advantage now with Dada Gaming. On the back of that mid control, they should have tried to at least play it a little patiently. maybe buy more distraction from A ramp and Palace to allow the connector presence to be a little more powerful. But it seemed a little too fast paced for me, if you ask, to try and take those deals up to its connector.
Right now, it's going to be all down to Indy, who's coming in with the backstab. Question is, will Zuri be able to peek into this esports about? And not sure if the T did so though. He's getting ready for the crossfire setup, and they've lost 2 players on the get-go. They lose 3.
What's happening?
The A defense just gets carved open like butter, and now VK, he's been spotted out as well. He's gonna get mollied out. Benzine can't find the kill, and that's the call for the save. Albino, what a huge misplay there. In fact, the player who was playing up on stairs knew exactly what was up.
Exactly, Zuri spotted that man, but for some reason he was so eager to take that fight towards Palace that he lets go of that short-term goal that he needed to keep in mind to make sure that they win that round. That is questionable at the very best, Shade, because now Dada Gaming, they're right back in it. Team Albino, their economy is worth the wear. And VK getting absolutely dumpstered. Boy, this is not the start that we expected, Shade. We expected Albino to actually run away with this round. Even in the start, it was a 3 versus 5. Dada Gaming pulling this one back from the brink of destruction.
And they get their first round on the board as well, courtesy that while Team Albino, the money that they had to spend to reinvest the previous round comes to bite them this time around. They don't have anything in terms of funds, maybe just a few upgraded pistols at best. Looks like we're gonna see a tech pause called as one of the players from Dada Gaming has dropped out, but Albino, there's no excuse for losing some of those duels there, OG. They were straightforward, no utility, man-on-man duel, and the CTs more often than not, especially when they know where the hit is coming from, you gotta win them at least at this stage of the tournament, OG.
Exactly, Shade. You can't afford to have such slip-ups where even despite having information and the position alongside an advantage, you still end up losing the round. Dada Gaming doing really good with the punish. They are a man down though, so they have called the pause. What do you think so far, Shade, with these being one of the few new names that are still surviving in the tournament so far? Do you have a favorite in mind between these two teams, or do you feel like it's gonna be more or less irrelevant? Because we've seen how teams like Reckoning Esports are playing right now. We've seen their spree of well, you can just make a Reckoning highlight montage with what they've had so far in the tournament. I guess that'd be an understatement in and of itself. Do you think that going up against a team like Reckoning, Team Albino, or Dada Gaming for that fact, would they be able to even stand to the test?
I think it's going to be a mixture of team, if these teams do make it there, a question of these teams being able to play the absolute best Counter-Strike of their lives, combined with maybe Reckoning or Global Esports not having the best of days. I think it's gonna have to be a bit of both for these guys to come through, especially in a best of 3, because in a BO1 anything can happen. It's a few rounds, your economy gets tanked, you end up losing quite a bit of rounds on the trot. But in a BO3, it's a huge ask to not only be able to do it once but twice in the same day. So I do believe these teams have got their work cut out to go even deeper in the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament, but I don't think either of them are looking at it that far in, right? They're right now, their focus is going to be, hey, this is a very close matchup. Let's win this and take things one round at a time. So we do have the resume coming in, but Yeah, I don't think either of these teams are, as of now, looking at the big picture where they probably make it into uh, semis, finals stages where they will go up against the big guns. They will, however, regardless, have to go up against one of the two teams that is playing up next, who's doing really well so far in this tournament. The Red Vipers, they've had a very strong showing, who will be going up against underdogs, who've also had a strong match, strong tournament so far, and the winner of this will be facing the winner of that. So the quarterfinal matchup itself is gonna be no pushover, OG.
Exactly. It's all excitement that awaits us for now. But Team Albino still going to be on pistols here. The other gaming able to amass a significantly better start from the pistol, with now being in a position where they could force the lead. You know, being on the CT side and not having utility is a very huge problem, Shane, especially due to the fact that the way you approach mid is so different from how it was before. And again, an identical round to the previous, where Albino just rush up towards mid, they're like, come slaughter us. Let's just get it over with quickly. But yeah, coming back to the issue at hand, it's relatively hard to contest mid with low utility, where we've seen Dada Gaming really interested to contest towards mid. So Albino, they need to make sure that they're not only down to the wire with their aggressive utility, but some of these early pickings that they do get, they need to start maintaining that, because even in the rounds that they have lost, especially the crucial round towards round 3, they got 2 openers and they're not able to hold the fort, which we've seen a lot of teams have that problem with, where you're given far too many options and you are indecisive as to what you choose. Let's see if that's going to be a recurring trend, at least in this matchup. Let's hope the Team Albino have addressed the issue.
Looks like they're going to set up for A Smokes here, Dada Gaming. The one TND who's going to be making his way through underpass, Badal. Gonna move on over towards Palace entrance here. VK. Ooh, has he spotted him out? Indeed, no, he hasn't. And VK is gonna get a sitter to open things up here. Dada Gaming, they've lost their flank, and with 50 seconds remaining, they're gonna commit to this, OG.
Yeah, they know that mid's relatively pushed, so it's feasible for them to push in towards the site, but yeah, but they're more than ready and in position to deal with the aggression posted through Palace. How did a man get through Firebox and not even see Badal? What's happening here? Alright, that's questionable at the very best, but it's still a 4 versus 3 favoring Team Albino, who are doing really good so far on the retake. A 2-man advantage now, leaving Premium Rush and wow with it all to do. Get 2 kills apiece, and Wawa's only good for the first. It's all left on a rush. Can he hold down the rush is the question. Nah, BKK instant with the deny, and Albino forced the equalizer 3-3. Dada Gaming, where we once thought they might start taking the lead by a mile. Albino right back in it though. Dada Gaming. One thing that people can take note from is the way Dada Gaming grew their economy, right? When they did win rounds, they didn't lose more than a single player. And look at the rewards they're reaping from it. They have a sustainable economy now, which even if they do lose a round or 2, they could reinvest. This is really important stuff from Dada Gaming, because they're preventing Team Albino from getting in on their early momentum.
Right now, 3 players back again towards mid, and the opener comes through. I think there was a mixture of
and the nade molly
flash.
combo.
Yeah, the nade molly with the flashbang. Look at this though.
Boy, this is
Premium rush. Wait
what?
a second. Oh no, he finally gets spotted out. Premium rush. It's just one of those moments where,
Like, am I the one at fault, or what's happening right now? How? Nonetheless, I don't think Wawa's angle will be expected though. He has to jump. Oh, he whiffs. He whiffs. That is just not the way you'd like to do. Trigger discipline is the way to go. I guess they need to watch a little more of Chris' gameplay here. Flash. Badal disengaging. The man advantage though for Dada Gaming, and now with the push to minor pass. Initially, the flank was denied, and it's yet again to be denied. The smokes, the flashes, everything come raining in, whatever's left on the D side, being thrown onto the table. And now with that sneaky climb through ladder, it should be dusted. 4-3 Albino. Not gonna lie, this round was very shaky, but they end up winning it regardless.
Yeah, they push through A main with the 2 CTs. If that gets spotted there by Premium Rush, the round ends right there. But instead, he gets picked off. The T's are able to get delayed rather by the 2 CTs who stuck around that area for a good part of 30 seconds thereafter. And eventually Dada Gaming had to commit in for that A hit with the crossfire setup nice and strong. Now though, round lead for Albino. Dada Gaming do have the full buy going into this one. And something that we haven't seen Dada Gaming do so far in this match is poke B. We've seen them send a T through underpass a couple of times now, but not a single time have we seen them even take a few shots at B. And I think pretty much the reason why Team Albino expects that to be the case, they're going to shore up the B defense with 3 CTs in this position. The boost, the head spotted and instantly clicked down. ND sent back to the grave without a head.
I'll be honest, that's one of the harder positions to play on in Mirage because you're exposed from the bench angle all the way through top mid, right? So it's going to be very hard for you to get that fast flick in. You need to be always heads up as to where they're going to come from, and sometimes it might just be luck playing a huge factor in that alongside timing. Did man disadvantage for it? Oh my god, why? That peak was completely unwarranted, but he still took it. Now the man disadvantage though, still for Dada Gaming. Time definitely starting to be a factor here. The straight through the smoke. How does it not connect, Shade? This is all conventional stuff, but 5-3 nonetheless. Albino take the lead. Keeping 3 men up here, so their economy not going to suffer as much. But Dada Gaming, they got the bomb plant, hence they're going to be able to reinvest.
Yeah, that was Wawa. Very close to being denied the plant as well with that spray through the smoke, but the plant there ensures they have decent bit of money here. I don't think it's enough to warrant a full force buy, but they're going to put some upgraded pistols, 3 Mac 10s behind it. And we talked about this last round, OG. No B hit so far. I think that's about to change.
Flash is perfect, but they can't land the kill. Wow. That is so unfortunate. But that'll gonna be feeling a little gutted after that one, without a doubt. Oh, Benson! Woohoo! Alongside a little bit of cover. Here comes the magic. The B defense holds strong for now. It's all on an ND who ends up going down. Albino. Sometimes when that happens to you, right? Like what happened to Badal right now, it's so excruciating, Shade. It's so excruciating. He lost a straight up aim duel against a player with a Mac 10 who was blind. So that's definitely going to be feeling a little bad. But Albino can't feel so bad as they are sitting with the lead. Beautiful job from Starix, and he realizes that ramp is pushed. So he's pushing Palace in fact to hold a line towards the backstab and make sure that Dada Gaming are never comfortable. There are men looking out for AWP, And Team Albino now on the retake. They again could spam through the smoke and try finding this kill. There is simply no way that Starks can get aggressive. This is a questionable call, Shade. Having two men on the backstab, you never really see this happen, so you never really know if it's gonna work. Now, there is gonna be a man who's gonna be clearing the backlines in the form of Wawa, but he lets go of it as well. Very indecisive play. Now, noise being made from Starik to bait out the reaction, and Vidal, more than just an easy frag. Kamui tries to make something out of it, but there's simply no way he could clutch that 1 versus 3. 7-3 Albino, starting to look really, really good on that CD half shade.
Instead of forcing the issue there from connector, they decide to send the one CT through all the way from T-spawn for that backstab, and once he did get into position, they did the perfect bait and play switch there, getting in the necessary distraction for the teammates to go in for the peak and get the cleanup. Team Albino demonstrating a decent bit of patience, OG, something we've seen teams kind of lack and try and jump the gun at every small opportunity they find. But Team Albino looking a little shaky at the start, but since then they've managed to pick up quite the momentum here in this first half, 7-3, and they've got the early man advantage as well.
Yeah, Albino looking really strong right now. Dada Gaming looking a little too dead in the waters for my own comfort. They have the AWP on a Wawa. Do you think that's the difference maker here? Because the majority they have, they've not had that liberty of the AWP.
Oh, big opportunity, VK!
He tried to get down on a premium, but the AWP from Wawa a little quick. Boy, these entries are crispy. Where has this been the entire half from Dada Gaming? Finally looking decent. Now Stark's all the way back in CT, trying to hold on to the side, but he whiffs. Position given away. Another shot. He does tag him, but he doesn't bag him. At this point, they'd much rather be comfortable on the safe shade. There's simply no way in hell that they're going to retake this A side.
Yeah, the max they can probably get out of this is a frag or two, but I don't think the T's are gonna give them duels at this point of time. The frag, what?
They have
by
a
both
smoke.
parties. They have a smoke though.
Possible. This is possible. Only thing that needs to be bot's the bait, but Zoom gonna spray them both down mercilessly. If and only if he landed that kill towards connector, they could have done that a little more patient because they had a little time shade. Here, nerves are of the essence because as soon as they start getting tested, they need to weather the change. And Albino, they have more than enough in terms of money to make this round work, but their bank is starting to deplete quite a bit. In fact, if they do lose this round, they're looking down potentially an equalizer where the other gaming would be able to make it all the way back.
Taken control of mid at the moment. This push though is not going to yield much. VK is going to continue to force the issue. He does get the trade, but it comes at the cost. He does eventually go down to rush, and they have full control of mid as well as ramp here.
It's going to be a crunch towards the A side, but that's where the defense is stacked towards now. The bomb has to make its way across, and nobody's clear towards Starik. So, almost whiffing. He could have gotten way more shade. That is a huge misplay. The Molotov from Zuri should make it pretty evident that the last play is through CT. And Albino almost gifted a way back, and they threw it right away.
Nice opening frag there, brings it down to a 1v2. He does, however, have a kit, but no smoke, no utility, no flashbangs. He's gonna have to somehow undo this crossfire setup that is up and running here from the T's. They're gonna peek together as two. And yeah,
There we go.
even if he gets the first frag there, Zoom is ready to trade it 7-5, and Team Albino's nightmare has become a reality. Their money's gone. They're back onto pistols, and Dada Gaming and well and truly back in this half OG.
Yeah, they are making their way back, certainly giving them a fighting chance in the second. Now it's going to be the eco coming in from Team Albino, so it should be another gifted round, I'd say, for Dada Gaming. What do you think that Team Albino need to change up, Shade? They came into this game looking really strong, but they've let loose for the past couple of rounds. Do you feel like they're lacking in any kind of department?
Albino, I think the problem has been they've been giving up the site far too easily in the last couple of rounds. The defense has been spread pretty thin. They've not got any trades in place, and this time, yes, of course, it is pistols up against rifles. Badal has already hit 2 good shots, almost finds the third, but the tag team there ensures normalcy is restored. 1v2, VK. He spots the trajectory. He knows exactly where one player at least is playing from.
Needs to go big here. No defuse kit. Puts out the gun barrel. Beautiful flick. Now he could hold the fort down with the op while trying to tap on the defuse. Beautiful bait, and he's going hungry for the kill. Could potentially smoke it off and try attempting the defuse. The spam is just going to come through, Shade. I don't think he thought this one out pretty well. He's running out of time, and luck certainly not going to be his friend today. Tries to get the final frag, ends up going down to Kamui before the bomb does blow up. He at least takes the op down with him, right? So there's not going to be an op on the side of Dada Gaming. So something in the way of victory, but he could have gotten far more in that circumstance.
Yeah, he ends up misplaying it horribly there. The only way that works is he gets the kill on that initial peak from the T, but having missed that, I think he played his cards all wrong right there. 7-6, Dada Gaming. They continue to march ahead. They're in touching distance now of Team Albino. Just the one round separating the two, and finally we get some presence towards B. I believe that is the absolute first time we've seen it, OG.
Yeah, it is. The first time that Team Albino have gotten aggressive towards B, they get aggressive towards A as well, which Dada Gaming could not expect. Because normally when you get aggressive towards one side, you'd like to stay passive on the other, which is not the case for now. Dada Gaming, the man disadvantages. They try to scramble and potentially hit towards the A side. We've seen them do this connector split awfully a lot, Shade. This time, though, it better work out, because right now they need this round if they are to shut down Albino and try to take the lead away from them by the end of the first half. Will Team Albino do budge, though? They have that man advantage, like we said. 2 men from Dada Gaming heading towards A palace. Zuri holding the angle, gets the ding, but on the retreat ends up making back to safety. They're both playing from under palace, though, not a position that you normally see doubling up. And this is exactly why. The pressure, it's immense, and they're not able to deliver. Now with 2 versus 2, Azal coming in from CT, gonna change things with 2 kills of his own, and VK there in position to claim the final frag. 8-6 Team Albino. It's not looking as rock solid as their start to the game.
They're finally able to win 1 round back here, Team Albino and Dada Gaming. Waste no time calling the timeout. Last round of the first half coming up. They won't be able to finish the half in the lead, but the 3 consecutive rounds before the previous one does ensure that they are able to stay in touching distance of the CTs here. Their buy is going to be mediocre at best, $2,500 average across the board. Last time around, it came down to Dada Gaming not being able to find those opening deals. The Molotov towards underpass does force the two CTs out. And I think they had a small window there to ensure that they secure both those frags. But the peak coming in from the T from ramp did not have any sort of backup whatsoever. Ends up going down all alone. Ooh, Kamui.
Oh, where did that come from? The push through mid utterly punished as Kamui just wrecks them into pieces. And now, Dota Gaming yet again find themselves in 3 versus 3. It feels like this entire game shade has been a 3 versus 3 experience, right? Where initially they take a lot of duels and then they just try to play it out as patiently as humanly possible.
The C4 recovered. It's going to start to make its way towards the A side. Looking at utility, they have one smoke and two flashbangs. There's barely anything.
Yeah, the push those from Zuni is going to be unexpected. The jump spotted the bomb right behind the man. Smoke deployed. They're trying to make their way out, Shade, but this is just not happening. It's far too uncoordinated for them to even try this. And Zoom, 1 versus 3, 2 players towards A. In fact, with 30 seconds left on the clock, he will need to commit to this.
He's got the one Molotov though, and he's going to use that towards Sandwich. Clear that out. He's got the decoy used up as well, but so hard to prevent the CTs from being able to trade. He's just going to try and fake plant, forcing the response from Zuri from Palace. 9-6 Team Albino. Kind of redeemed themselves a bit there towards the end of the first half, picking up the 2 final rounds. They give themselves a good chance here moving over to the T side, the all-important pistol round. Dada Gaming, they hit A, they hit mid, barely did they head over towards the B side, but all of that might just change here in the very first round, OG. Albino, scratch that. They're all heading back towards A again. Interesting from Dada Gaming though. They're committing 4 towards B, OG.
Yeah, and they have a quick man towards B short in case a flank is required. But Daldo, he's going to come in with a flank of his own, which potentially could be for the post plant or to deny the rotations. Regardless, the A setup committed, and now here comes the rotations. This is exactly what Badal has been waiting for, but he's going to be patient about his approach. Going to take down Premium Rush with ease initially, and he has a lot of backup headed his way to his connector as well. That's exactly where the bomb's planted for. Team Dada Gaming, they didn't do this on their T-side pistol, but they planned for default and try to defend it off towards connector. Beautiful job done by Albino. Their strat looks solid, their aim looks precise, and they completely deserve double digits at this moment.
The pistol's not enough. They're gonna try and smoke the diffusers. He has the kit. He's gonna try and shoot this. He's got the ninja. Oh my lord. So much for the double digits, OG. The smoke ninja diffuse comes out big there for Dada Gaming. A rabbit out of the hat in Albino. Wondering how they let that pistol round slip by. The value was quite a bit there on that pistol round, but I think the kind of effect that's gonna have on the team mentally is what I'm more concerned about. Dada Gaming now in a good run here to try and make a comeback into this. Just the 2-round deficit. They've got the guns. They've got the firepower here to drop the lead down to just a single round mid-take. Coming in, Zoom able to spot the entire entourage out.
The Nate's likely to mark and Forsaken. What? How's he able to find these kind of frags? It absolutely makes no sense, yet he delivers. Wawa, not a fight that you'd like to contest, especially with the MP9. The man advantage now, and another man in the form of Benson is gonna approach towards B apps. And D, is he gonna be ready? The spread out so thin here, team Albino. But they do seem confident with their approach. Now comes the push. Benzine getting spotted out, getting essentially boxed in. And now they know that the pressure is hit towards B, hence they're going towards A. Rotations, though, lives up to its expectations. And now Badal might. He has a lot of opportunity, right? Because he can come out of murder hole, try go B, but you need to be alive to have those opportunities handed to you. Rather, it's only VK left standing. 1 versus 4. 8 seconds, and he should be able to call the save as well. Unless Wawa will be able to come in and get the kill in the nick of time. No, not gonna happen. 9-8. Team Albino. They seem a little hesitant and absent on the T side sheet.
And this is a scenario that should have been quite the reverse, considering Team Albino should have had that opening pistol, but instead they find themselves in a hole here. They've got for the buy, a mix buy at that. They're invested in 3 players. The 2 remaining players have picked up just the upgraded pistols. They're going to come running in through the Molotov, and it's going to cook them all. Andy with the cleanup, 9-9. There goes the money down the drain. There goes the round as well. And with that, the lead is flushed down as well. 9-9. It's all even Stevens. Dada Gaming. Is this the moment where Team Albino kind of lose the plot here, OG?
This might, this very well might. It's not looking all that great for them right now. Gonna be on mere pistols, and this MP9 is gonna just eat them to shreds. Again, no armor up against this MP9, so that's what makes it as lethal as you'd like. Team Albino are just crossing their fingers and praying that they're able to get the bomb down for a better buy the next round, which I'm not sure is going to be the case. Premium Rush. He's been going down quite a bit, and Badal. Beautiful headshot. T side letting a little win loose. Benzine able to find one as well. This is utter pandemonium towards the A side. The CDs need to start regaining control here. Wawa gonna come in through mid, jumps on top towards jungle. Could have just rushed towards connector and try to help this man.
And there comes the nade, forces the T out in the open, and he can ensure that the trade doesn't come out in the nick of time. They're making their way in. Wawa, he spotted one of the T's towards CT spawn there. Badal trying to go for the spray through the smoke. He's not found it just yet. Wawa decides to take the fight up aggressive, down to a 1v1. He taps at the bomb. He does not have the time, and Starrick speaks out. Albino.
Yeah, this round just... There were so many question marks, right? Why? How? When? These pistols just... They just do not stop surprising shit. I guess Apollonia has a lot of work to do if she has to get any kind of analytical insight on this, because it seems like it is just a free-for-all towards the east side at the moment. No order, it's only chaos.
And there's the Deagles just walking in one after the other, right? You see the Deagle pop out of Palace, they get the opener. The push through underpass is able to catch off the CT rotating from B short. There was no counter utility used by the CTs, rather a moment, I'd say that's a momentary lapse in concentration from Dada Gaming, and that allows Albino a couple of opportunities which they were able to put away with the pistols. Has given them back the lead, but the work is far from done. Aggression towards mid, something that Team Albino did time and again in the previous half, and Dada Gaming is looking to return that favor back across. spray.
And a lot of damage done on a VK as well. Takes him down to 75, which will leave him susceptible to one taps from the M4. So far, the G side not having the best of starts. They are trying their best in way of turning the ship around. Sad part is the wind's not blowing that hard on them. Zoom. He's gonna push this one here. Forsaken is right around the corner and he's ready for this. Off the shoulder. There we go. Fast swing from Zoom. Man advantage. Yeah.
The
two-man
jumping
advantage.
spray there. That's a pretty low percentage play, OG. But
Yeah, pretty low percentage play, and they found Zoom to its top mid as well. The only thing here is Zoom has put at the bomb, so it's gonna cause a little confusion on the side of Dada Gaming as to where they need to commit to. And we might just see a knife here, Shade, if ND is not careful enough. What do Team Albino do in this scenario? Seems that they're gonna get towards the B side, which for now seems to be the right call to make. There needs to be quick rotations called in from ND. The utility. He has... I'm not sure why Team Albino are not using utility to cross this. It would have been very risky if they wouldn't, which it was. An aggressive Molotov, Dada Gaming. Every single one of their men comes in from market, so it's going to be quite the narrow choke point that they need to fight out of. Team Albino, a good chance here to deny Dada Gaming an equalizer. Premium Rush is going to be good on the frag to it. Zauri, but Andy, nothing he can do about this. He's trapped. Oh, I assume he might come into. Oh, he lands it. Shade, if only that was a headshot, that might be a clutch. I'm getting a little flashbacks to yesterday where we saw quite the nutter of a game, Shade. We did see quite a nutter of a game.
11 to 9. Yeah, Team Albino, they're the ones to call the timeout there. I think it's a question of knowing that the CT economy is not great for this round, and they just want to ensure that they don't really get caught off guard with the pistols yet again.
Exactly, because this is their chance, right, to extend that lead and make sure that they put so much more pressure on the Dada Gaming. Because if they force into this round, Dada Gaming will not have any kind of reliability for the rest of the half. If they equal this round, they risk giving Albino a lead. Do you favor the more conservative approach in this scenario, or considering that it's Indian CS and we have a portfolio, right, of seeing pistols go to town on multiple occasions? Would you consider a force?
I don't think, considering the stakes that are on the line here today, a force is called for at this stage. Dada Gaming, they are behind, but they've still got a few more rounds to work with, and I'd say you just go for a couple of upgraded pistols. You decide to go for a rush, maybe play the aggressive push towards a couple of parts of the map, try and get some of these rifles out of the hands of the T's. And that's exactly going to be the case. No force coming out this time around. They're going to charge out through mid. We've seen this in the previous half as well.
From Team Albino, in fact.
Yeah, Team Albino knows exactly what's up. They're like, hey, this is our trick from our strat book.
Don't play the Uno reverse card on us. Go. Oh, if he got that frag, things might have been a little possible, but BKK good in the recovery for 2. At this point, it's just a scramble effort coming in from Dada Gaming. Molotov will make sure that Premium Rush is going to be on the wide swing, hence a frag should come in the favor of Albino. Easier said than done. 12 to 9. Team Albino now look to be in a really good position, but Dada Gaming should be able to invest now. It's all going to be written on this round, Shade. Whether it's going to be Albino facing a close game to put them in a comfortable spot in the tournament, or will it be a breeze?
12-3. Utility is going to be pretty darn minimal though for Dada Gaming, despite them being able to pull up all the weapons. AWP, glass cannon on Kamuvi. This is it. They've put their eggs in here in this very basket. It's this round. They do manage to get armor behind him, but wait a second. All right, I think this is going to be a run restart. You see the CTs kind of lingering around in spawn at the moment.
Let's just hope that nothing drastic has happened to some of these players.
Now, this is a good time to actually catch up on some breath, I suppose. You've got your timeouts, but you don't really want to
Expel all of them.
use up all of them at this moment. You want to hang on to them if things do get rough towards the end of this half, and save a few quite possibly for the OTs that might be coming up as well if it does go down to that.
So far, Albino are in the driver's seat of the second half and potentially the game as well. Tata Gaming are very low in utility here, something that Team Albino can clearly capitalize upon. And they're doing it in a smart way as well. They're taking to mid control, where if on the CT side you're low in utility, you really can't afford to contest towards mid, or else it's gonna look like a pretty gruesome story.
The push through mid, premium brush, bows out at just about the perfect time. Wawa. It's going to come down to how the crossfire from premium brush and Wawa holds up. Wawa does get smoked out at the moment.
No, actually, he throws that defensive smoke.
Oh.
That basically isolates Premium Rush. The flash is good from the peak towards jungle, and Premium Rush quick to get the finish in. This is the contact we've been waiting for. Premium Rush with an absolutely massive double, and the side's denied. It's just Albino, as soon as those frags came in, they knew that there was a lot of presence towards mid, hence they try to pressure towards the side and see if they get any kind of success. Sadly, they get none whatsoever, and Wawa denies Zuri on the plant. 12 to 10, Tada Gaming on the back of low utility. They made sure to choke Albino towards mid for a little time before they did finally break their silence.
12 to 10. $8,800 on benzene. Should be able to drop over a weapon to VK and still have a buy good enough here to force the issue for Team Albino. While Dada Gaming, that was a strong hold there. Pretty much came down to the timing of that push from connector by Premium Rush. He catches the T's in transition after the CT who's playing Sniper Nest had provided the perfect bait.
What do you think that Team Albino need to do right now that will shut down the other gaming? Do you think it could be a rush towards maybe the B side? Because they're putting a lot of pressure towards mid, right? Have a smoke towards B short, have a lot of flashes while you're entering towards the side, and just get that one frag towards side, perhaps play for the after plan post that. Well, it seems that the connector crunch that we'd love to see is gonna be...
Oh yes, there you go. They played super fast, and Wawa,
he misses his shot, and he's punished. Dada Gaming, after one round victory, facing loss is not really what you'd expect. The bomb does end up going down. Kamui tried to come in with that refrag in the next time, but it's simply of no avail. They're even now going to be on the save. Team Albino, I doubt they'd be contesting the save right now, considering their own economy is not that well developed. But 13 to 10 nonetheless, Shade Albino in touching distance of the W.
yeah, they're taking the baby steps towards that quarterfinal berth. But Dada Gaming, the two saved rifles here will go a long way in allowing them to put some sort of firepower on the table for the next round, because Albino right now, they can pretty much spot the finish line. Two rifles, $2,700. I don't think it's enough in the bag to commit to this round.
It certainly isn't.
I believe they are. They're going in.
Utility is going to be a little iffy though. Wawa even downgrades to the Clarion, in fact, and Premium Rush has only a smoke to work with. Not the best of buys, but certainly a buy that they could consider a scramble one, Dada Gaming. This is essentially backs against the wall, right? If they lose this one, they have barely any hope left at the end of the half.
Yeah, they're not going to have the money to buy into the next one. So they've decided to kind of maybe catch Albino off guard.
This could be massive shake because Badal's on the backstab, and now with the commitment to its aid, Asex essentially gifted. If they plan to its connector, this could be the play that sets them up to win their matchup. This is the play, Shade. The bomb on the verge of getting planted, the smokes clearing just as of yet, but the frags coming the other way. It's only the players through CT that have any kind of resemblance of life left in him. The flash holds them for now. Forsaken on top of the box as he's trying to just put the nail atop the coffin. Kamau on the wide swing. Oh, he finds the kill towards connector, but Forsaken recovers smartly. Andy, 1 versus 2. Up. He knows Forsaken is right around the corner. Could have gotten that frag and could have gone massive, but now you risk CQC, the no scope, and this could be the finisher. No diffuse kit inside, the flash, the 10-second hold. It ain't a reality. 14-10, Albino dismantle the buy and potentially send Dada Gaming home bye-bye.
That was a wonderful attempt though. The no scope, smoke down, he goes for the diffuse, but Zuri knew exactly where the plant was. It was planted for him. There was no ninja he was gonna allow under his watch, and at the end, a quick play towards, wait, 2 kills offered up to pistols, AWP recovered as well. Have they just thrown this round away, OG? 14-10, there shouldn't have been a single chance here for the CTs, but instead it's a 2v5. Albino jumped the gun, and now they're in a tough situation here. Smokes drop, plant coming through, but all they need to do is keep rushing in. They've got the numbers, at least for now. They've brought it down to a 1v3.
What the hell just happened?
Albino. 2 players towards A ramp. They drop the AWP, they drop the rifle, and after that, decide to go for a flat A B rush. They get stalled in the tracks. They did, however, get a decent bit of opportunity there. If they land the 2-man spray down onto the 2 CTs up at Market, they theoretically even things out, but it shouldn't have even gotten down to that in the first place. A big mishap from the T's. Let's just hope that it doesn't come back to cost them a spot in the quarterfinals, OG.
Yeah, Andy now gifted the off. Albino mid control to their name. Andy, that is a very risky maneuver. The flash, I doubt he'd have gotten information on the back of that maneuver as well. Albino though, contesting mid pretty heavily, but letting go of it quite easily. They want to rotate all the way back through apartments to try and contest towards B. But it's going to be Badal who's trying to sell a potential fake. Alright, this is things that you don't really expect to see, because why would you give away a mid presence which you used so much utility to get? Perhaps to hold off the rotations, but that really won't work. Zoo spots one on the entry, the flashes come in, it only binds the player towards B short. Zoom though allowed a strike, and Wawa is good for 1. The trade does favor Dada as the backstab did not really work. Zuri is gonna force down the plants. Tarek's covering towards Market window, as that's the only way for a fast deny without him hearing about it. Tarek spotted that man though, and Andy, there was simply no way he could survive. 1 versus 2 for premium. It's almost done and dusted here, Shade. The spray, oh, Forsaken almost let go of that. Luckily, Zudi was right there around the corner to recover. 15-11. But if the past has any indication of the future, Shade, Dada Gaming still have a chance.
They do indeed, OG. Dada Gaming, they've shown us moments of brilliance, but They've been far and few in this entire match. Primarily why you see Team Albino having 4 match points here. A quick execute towards the B side. The spray down is on point. He's managed to pick up 2.
What I tell you? What I tell you, Shade?
And
It's
Badal
all
now, he needs to ace clutch this.
Just straight up. There's no room for error. 15-11. With all spotted, tagged, potentially bagged. Nice headshot on a zoom. Still 1 versus 3 though. Odds. Certainly stacked up against him. Has another flash and a Molotov. Push. Being watched and punished by Premium Rush. 15-12. And hey, I guess Inky Pinky Ponky does work when it comes to CSS. The prediction was dead right, Shade. 15-12. 3 rounds away from potentially forcing overtime. Do you actually see this one work? Because look at Team Albino's economy. It's nothing. Boy. Jarix. He's gonna be trying to sell a fake to his B side. Dal on the entry. Now a little too late. They flood the site and they are able to down the bomb. At the end of the day, Shade, it's mission accomplished. The dynamite takes VKK down as it goes boom. But hey, bomb plan means extra money, which means a greater chance for Team Albino to close this one out. But I'm not a believer just yet. I feel like Dada still have a small fight left in him.
It's going to come down to this round right here. Team Albino, they have the money for the investment and they're going to commit in fully. They lose this, we're going into OT. Fair and simple. AWP out on Wawa. Let's see how Team Albino decides to play this. We've seen them go for fast plays. We've seen them play the picks as well. Looks like they want to try and contest mid this time around. Zoom. Boosted up at bench.
He's no one in that position, and luckily he does retreat. Team Albino have been contesting mid pretty hard, but then let go of it in this round here. Perhaps after what happened in the round prior, they don't really want PTSD at the end of this game. Push to underpass. This is a lot of information for Dada. Because they can, based off their early rotation, if Benzene does punish this, this could be lights out for them. So you're gonna be wary.
Oh, he's not ready. He goes
And now they
for...
know.
He goes for the
They
white
know
swing
exactly
and
where.
they know exactly where the hit is coming from. Smokes deployed as well. They're going to have to push through the smokes and they've managed to get there. Kamui ends up going down. Premium rushes with the spray as well. They find the openers, OG. They've got the numbers advantage here. 3v4 on the retake for Dada Gaming to stay in this one. Down goes the C4. AWP in hand. Wawa needs to step up big here. Riffs the first shot in. IND able to reply back, though Zoom the spray needs to make this happen. Comes in, gets the first. Zuri though spray traded away 1v2. Albino, they've messed up the post plant. Here's Tarix peeking out. He needs to make this happen. He's got the first. What? The defuse is still stuck there at the end, and he rubs the salt on the wound there. Takes Forsaken down. 15-14 Albino, the man advantage post plant. I thought that was it, but they were so far split up, allowing Dada Gaming to get those picks on the retake. A huge ask at the end though for Starix. 2 CTs through the smoke, he only finds the one. Team Albino. Yeah, they're pretty high and dry on utility this time around, OG. They're going to have to rely on raw firepower to try and make this happen.
Oh no. This is... I had no clue, Shade, that this matchup is going to get this intense. Whew. That post plant, Let's all be honest here. Albino played that post plan very poorly. There was no refrag or no backup essentially for any player to his side. Oh, a huge whiff. Zoom. This has allowed again the man advantage to flow the way of Albino. The aggressive stance simply will not work on every round. And this is why I keep saying, right, Mirage could get a more T-side, is a little more T-sided right now. It's because it's hard to contest mid as a CT all by yourself. And especially with that bench, it almost becomes a very worrisome spot. You always need to be worried about Nest later on towards the round. And if you essentially relinquish control of mid, you have one aspect of your backlines vulnerable. Nonetheless, the final commitment. This is gonna make it or break it. Are they gonna check for premium rush? He's been pretty well concealed. The spray, it connects on a two. They have whiffed it, Shade. The man disadvantage. It's all left on Zuri and Benzi. Oh, they're shooting at each other. They're confused as much as we are. Now it's all left on Zuri. He needs to get another headshot. 10 seconds left. And we go the distance. OT is up for the grabs, baby.
Team Albino, they messed up those match points, 2 of them to be precise. Both rounds, by the way, they started off with the early man advantage, but when the time came for the push, the numbers just get thinned so fast. That last round, premium rush, they do not check under Palace. A huge mistake there. He lands the 2-man spray down before eventually getting taken out, but that was more than enough to send Dada Gaming into OTOG. They're still breathing, they're still in this.
What have we been witnessing, Shade? The last few rounds, Albino, it's become really questionable now as to whether this game's in their hands or not. Dada Gaming, backs against the wall, elimination, always a lingering threat in their mind, but they were able to fight against all odds and find their way back in this matchup. Now they're even Stevens, Shade. 15 of 15. Initial HP advantage goes the way of Albino, but we've known that it doesn't mean jack. Benzene gonna try and make his way out of the B apartments. Mind you, the T's are still very spread out. There's essentially no refrag set up, and they've grouped up towards the B side, where it's gonna be Zuri, who's off towards mid, trying to perhaps cut off rotations towards B short. They need the perfect flasher, and they need to clear this corner. ND, it's in a one and done position, and he actually ends up almost getting the drop on a Benzene. The nade, is it the finish? Oh, it's almost a finish. Takes him down to 16 HP, and Zoom finds the initial kill towards mid. Now with the collapse on towards B, Wawa passes him up massive, but he ends up going down. ND though, a huge triple to secure this round for his team, as Benzene is left with all to do with 15 HP. Make it a quad. ND going above and beyond, securing the first round in overtime. And it's been a very long time since Dada have secured the lead.
Indeed, it has. I don't think Dada has ever taken the lead this entire match, OG. I believe they were on even terms 9-9, but I believe this is the first time that they do have the lead in this matchup. Team Albino, their confidence must be gutted right now. Match points, quite possibly an easy win through, but they've squandered a lot of the lead that they've had, and Wawa gets offered a sitter here. Bring him on, one after the other. He's not done peeking this.
Like, keep coming at him, keep coming at him. He does miss a shot though, and he's down to 9 HP. Can't really afford to take more engagements like that, and yeah, with that frag down the drain, the round's more or less secured. A couple of minutes ago, would you have even imagined that this is going to be the outcome? Seems almost unfathomable, and Wawa, a Triple kill. Jesus Christ. 17 of 15. Dada Gaming absolutely doing this here.
Yeah, they've picked up the momentum, and Team Albino have completely lost their way so far. They're having very less impact in these rounds right now. They're just breezing through half of them. The buy comes in is far from ideal. 2 Mac 10s, 3 rifles. And I think it's just going to come down to a question of who has the better mental fortitude here to continue with the grind. They drop the utility, they go for the rush, they're losing the numbers here to Dada Gaming. They're taking them one by one. Zuri goes down as well. No plan in sight. 3 rounds picked up consecutively here on the CT side, and that is going to be Dada Gaming this time around, coming up with 3 match points, OG, as they make the switch over to the CT side. Team Albino, have they already tapped out?
Just imagine, Shane, all this happened just due to one round where they forced up CZ. That one round really comes to show that the butterfly effect is more than just the things in books. Oh no, Dada Gaming pulling off. This is not the biggest upset, Shade, but this is by far the biggest turnaround we've seen in the tournament, period. On the verge of losing to 4 map, if I'm not wrong, it is 4 match points, right? Which Albino were up, which Dada Gaming in fact were up against.
Yeah.
It was somewhere along the lines of 15 to 12, 15 to 11. And they clawed their way back. Not even managed, they clawed their way back to this game. Now, on their first round hitting map and match point, they're a man down. But with then no strangers to try and pull off miracles, Shade. Hell, they're pulling one off right at the moment.
Nerves soon will start to kick in. Dada Gaming, the numbers disadvantage. Will they pull off a Team Albino themselves? We'll have to wait and see. For now, though, they have the man advantage. Zuri gets the second, and with that, the numbers have thinned even further. The gig is up. They're gonna have to commit in towards aerial soon. The CT
and the pick for connector. Zoom has a pretty good position. Premium rush. It's being very vocal from Palace, who could have gotten the punish in. Actually hit it, but Forsaken with a no-scope is all left on a Wawa. The monster Hopper. He's been on quite the tear right now. 14 seconds left as he tries to pull off the unthinkable. 8, 7, he better off save this op. He gets that frag. Yeah, this should be done and dusted. He goes down before the time though. So maybe a silver lining. No, wait, yeah, he went down before the time. 5,000 in the bank. Here's the only issue, Shade. With overtime being started off with 10,000 as soon as the half starts, if, like Wawa, you did invest in the op, it's going to cost a lot for your team to help you reinvest. If they lose this round here, Shade, you might have another overtime on our hands.
We might, man. Albino go with the double op setup here. Towards mid as Dada Gaming turn up with the numbers towards B, where we do have VK and Benzene holding the fort down.
Here's the issue with this. If both the players towards B die by any chance, it's going to be the double op on the retake. Which, if you know anything about CS, Shade, op during retakes is a big no-no. VK, is this position going to be checked is the question. Premium rush, he's good on the first, but VK a little itchy on the trigger finger, and hey, if it works, it works. He gets 2 kills and makes this a doable round. Starix, he's retreated early with the AWP. If the cross happens, it has to be punished. The double op setup, it's so punishing And Dada Gaming, they're not even gifting them engagements. They're playing more than passive. The jump spotted Zuri, almost in with the punish. Position given away. They know exactly how this retake's headed. Zuri goes down. It's a double off. Left to try and salvage this. And hey, this is done. This is over. Oh, what a no-scope. Starix almost pulling this one back. ND now in the 1 versus 1. Is the cool
Oh, he's made it happen. But what?
Call the ambulance, but he doesn't have a diffuse kit. Jesus freaking Christ, I need some coffee.
Oh my lord, Dada Gaming, hold on. In style there and take the victory. Apple, what a match that was. I'm out of breath right now. Whew. Oh, I do believe Apple. All right, yeah. Go ahead, Apple.
Yeah. So there was not enough time to diffuse, but Dada Gaming takes it. Okay, we got to break down what happened in the match. Let's start with the first half.
Yeah, starting off with the first half, I think it was majority of it Team Albino who did have the edge. They were almost always in the lead, but a few misplays in a couple of few crucial rounds allowed for the momentum swings over to the other side, where Dada Gaming, given those opportunities, did manage to make good on those streak of rounds where they've clawed their way back in. But Team Albino, time and again, always ensured that they did just about enough to stay in front, and were the first ones to have 4 match points, Apple. 4 match points is so unfortunate. Again, that one round where it was Dada Gaming with the pistols and Team Albino kind of decided to jump the gun. Is probably a question of just adrenaline rush, right? You know, you see the finish line, you want to ensure that you get that slot in the quarterfinals, done and dusted right there. But as they say, it's never really over until the scoreboard says so. And Dada Gaming, I think that one round win there and the fact that they were able to see it all the way down to OT kind of broke Team Albino's confidence there in overtime. And at the end there, despite a couple of wonderful attempts, that 2 no-scopes, including a jumping no-scope, pulling off a Coldzera there, didn't have the kit. And Dada Gaming, they just persevered through to the quarterfinals, Apple.
Yeah, it was 6-9 after the first half, 9 in favor of Team Albino. And it was at a point where Team Albino had 15 points and Dada Gaming had 11, but they managed to come back right from there. And then they got 16-15, and that's where Dada Gaming found themselves in the lead. That was so exhilarating. It was intense. I was at the edge of my seat. That is what you call a good match. Congratulations to Dada Gaming. They have made it over to the quarterfinals. No more best of ones for them. It's going to be a best of 3 from then onwards. Now, guys, this is the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament you are watching, powered by Lenovo and Intel, and we have AFK Gaming as our media partner. Now, stay tuned. We are going to come back with game number 4, the last game of the day, and that will be Red Vipers versus Underdogs, a very juicy one. Do stick around, subscribe to this channel if you have not, and we'll be back very shortly.
To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors. To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.
Hey guys, we're back really quick, and this is the Rise of Legion CSGO tournament you are watching, powered by Lenovo and Intel, and we have AFK Gaming as our media partner. So we took a breath, we had an amazing third match, and congratulations once again to Dada Gaming for making it into the quarterfinals. And for the last two matches that we had Reckoning Esports and Force Crew that also have made it to the quarterfinals. Now, this is going to be the last game, which is Red Vipers versus Underdogs. Shade, what are your thoughts on this upcoming match?
Red Vipers have looked very strong so far in their run until the round of 16. I think I had kind of predicted that they met their match when they went up against Bumrat Gaming on Mirage the last time around, but my predictions of Bumrat taking that win, it ended up being the complete opposite. In fact, Red Vipers looked stellar on that win, and that I believe is going to be a huge confidence booster going into this. And I do believe they've got what it takes to take down Underdog here on Overpass.
All right, we saw Underdogs also the last time, and I believe they played on Train, and they had a good performance. They had great momentum as well. So their team name might be a statement, calling themselves Underdogs. They could put up a really good fight against Red Vipers, but that's going to be tough. What kind of mindset should Underdogs be going into this game, considering the map in this fourth match?
Underdogs, they're starting off on the T side here on Overpass. The slightly not so favored one at that, but that being said, I think the goal here is going to be to take the pistol and try and get at least 6 to 7 rounds on the board. is a very comfortable space to be in while they make the switch, because Red Vipers is they do pack quite a punch in terms of firepower. That being said, we are actually ready to jump straight into the match.
That's great.
Let's go ahead and head on over to Overpass round 1, Red Vipers versus Underdogs. OG, take it away.
It's going to be Red Viper starting off on the CT side. Well, a quick execute coming in from Underdogs towards the B side. You can see that the B defense a little disturbed towards Waters, but they're holding on to the side so far. The bomb getting planted. It's rare that we see a 5 versus 5 after plan, but Vince does end up going down shortly thereafter. Faith trying to aggress, but it's actually the backlines that proves to be lethal, where Vipers have found 2 frags in both TRF and Rec. Now, the man disadvantage, Underdogs playing for the after plan. They don't have utility to do this with, and now with the smoke and into the fuse, it should be easy GG. Oh no! The deny at the last possible second. TRF left to scurry as to where Sneaky's playing from, and Sneaky living up to his name. Underdogs take it down at the wire, but hey, it pays off massively in the end.
The attempt to defuse inside the smoke foiled as Underdogs make those shots count. They get 3 frags. 2 players towards short. I thought that was going to be an uphill task, especially with Red Vipers having the utility that they did with the numbers. But Underdogs going massive there with the pistols. The best possible start. A start that we talked about that Underdogs were hoping for. They found exactly that. But these anti-eco rounds do end up getting tricky on a few occasions, especially when the crossfire is ready and set here towards toilets. But Trex gets the opener. He's going to look to fall back without forcing too many more casualties in that area. Smoke's being set up, and they looks like they're going to bypass the CTs entirely and move through long instead, and this should pretty much be the round set in stone.
Yeah, Underdogs should be a little wary as they must give away kills in this round, which they do a really good job of. A flawless round from Underdogs. This is how you approach these kind of rounds, right? Where we saw in Mirage, it costed the other side dearly. Underdogs, I guess they learned that lesson from the previous game on stream, and Red Vipers paying the price for it. Now, this is a questionable decision, Shade. You never really like to completely force up in the third round because of the lack of utility, right? Especially on a map like Overpass, where right now if Underdog come in with a fast play towards B perhaps, it's going to be really hard to stop them without that Molotov nade combo that is very, very potent towards B short. Towards B long, in fact. Now, the SMG rush and Sneaky. An absolute beautiful play from Connector. He's been on point for the past few rounds, and it's a delight to see Underdogs performing so well. I actually considered walking into this matchup Red Vipers to be a little more favored of a side, considering that again Red Vipers have come in with this kind of game style that not many Indian teams could start ahead, right? Bangla CS not really as contested in this region, just due to the fact that we don't have many tournaments as such as this, right? Which gives room for so many of these players from relatively unknown regions to show and make a name for themselves. Red Vipers certainly have throughout the entirety of this tournament. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, Red Vipers did upset Bumrat Gaming, who have been quite on the upward trajectory. They, of course, were previously known as the core of District 9, but Red Vipers not with the start that we expected. Let's hope that they can actually try and return fire here. Underdogs, though, with a flawless 3-0 start. And we might just see another round just thrown away to Underdogs, as now Red Vipers, they need to get the tough call in and try to hold on to their economy. They potentially could do damage, though. They have two M4s. The 2 players with M4s, in fact, that being Xenon and Vince, have a decent bit of utility. I think it's a TD bet alongside a couple of Deagles. So early picking goes their way. They might be able to get this one in the fray.
Ooh, the contest towards Fountain there. The counter frag does go the way of the CTs, but they've not been able to recover any rifles just yet. Vincent, with that saved rifle from the previous round, early control of A long taken by 3Ts, while Pralit is going to continue to spend some utility to try and keep the CTs pinned in towards the B site. Boost onto Flower Bed, yields the kill onto TRF.
Damn.
There is another CT, however, in position right there.
This push from Faith might seal things shut because the backstab's gonna be at least secure. With it not being watched, Faith has the opportunity to go massive here. And they're being very patient behind the smoke as well. Vince shows a little bit of skin, gets it ripped right off. In fact, it's a beautiful double.
Yeah.
It seems like the individual brilliance from Underdogs right now is shining sky high, and Red Vipers now should be that turn to reply in kind. TRF back again on it with the op. Red Vipers have Red, never mind. It's gonna be a tactical timeout. For a second I thought Red Vipers called the timeout, so they could potentially go about with the strat once more to make sure everyone's on the same page. But hey, you get a breather right now with it being your buy round. You get to compose yourself and get ready for the hurdle that's going to come next. Underdogs, they've done a really good job in maintaining their economy. And we've seen this, right, when the economy, especially in the map between Reckoning and Team IND, where Reckoning maintained a very strong T-side economy, which didn't allow Team IND to reply. Even if they won a few runs, they couldn't string it together. Perhaps Underdogs have gotten a lot of touching points today and have worked on it on their own A game.
(4-0) and the op comes out for Red Vipers. It's on to the hands of TRF. As always, Underdogs, early control of Fountain, aggressively taken. No contest from Red Vipers this time around with the AWP towards Toilets. An aggressive peek offered regardless, but nothing to show for so far as the C4 seems like will start to make its way towards the A site very early on. Xenon and TRF playing the duo up at Toilets. Three CTs committed in towards the B side, 2 towards A, and both holding aggressive position. So if this defense doesn't work out, Red Vipers, they pretty much hand the round in a silver platter over to Underdogs. But right now, Underdogs, they've set up all around and they haven't checked it. Xenon almost misfires. At that point of time, TRF is going to look to back away. He spots the player out, readjusts with the AWP, and that should be the round pretty much done for here.
But they realize this though. They know that the setup is towards Toilets and they're trying to circumvent it with a push towards Long. The only problem is the man on rotation might not have been accounted for. The wall of smoke's good, but is it going to be enough is the question. Spam through the smoke. Vince almost finds that frag, but they find him through the smoke in fact. No, yeah, it's not going to be as much of as value, and this aggressive defense is really good shape. For anybody relatively new to CS, TRF did something really brilliant the previous round. He baited those Samkyus as if the man who got the frag was going to be on retreat, and he just primed back in position, knew that the peak was going to come, and deals with it in the best of fashion. Red Vipers showing that they might be beaten down initially, but they're not down for the taking. Underdogs, they have that strong economy that I mentioned prior, so they will be able to fall back on it and try to squeeze this round back under their belt. Sneaky, a lot of damage done, and Xenon finds him through the smoke to finish the job he started. The man advantage now, Underdogs. For the 4 rounds they did win, if I'm not mistaken, all the rounds they had that man advantage. Now, with that man disadvantage being the trend for the past 2 rounds, Underdogs might just be on the verge of losing their mojo.
Red Vipers, they've changed things up a little. They've been more than happy to give those early fights. They've changed up their passive hold so far, and last round it was the play towards toilets. This time the play towards connector that gives them the early man advantage, and they're more than happy to just slow things down from thereafter. No reason to force the issue as the CTs.
A flash setup might just obliterate the setup towards B short. Flash, a crucial piece of utility, now disposed of. Fade, beautiful, sprayed out. Triple kill, holds mouse one, and just flexes. It's all left on the T-Rex with the op. 1 versus 5. Things starting to look a little murky. The T-Rex, I'd say, beautiful shot though. 1 versus 4 now. They know exactly where he's coming from, and the retreat as well. The Molotov forces him on the engagement. Ooh, nice shot. I'll give him that.
There's two wonderful shots there, but
they do recover the op, so a double op set now on the Red Vipers.
underdogs after the 4 initial rounds. 2 rounds now, Red Vipers have been able to respond back with early aggression, and TRF looks like it's going to take the op towards long this time around. It is a part of the map that they haven't contested so far. Xenon. This is a spot that they've pre-fired time and again, underdogs. Let's see if this bait and switch does yield results. The shot with the op missed, and now Xenon has given away his position. He's pretty much stuck there with nowhere else to go. The repeat back out, shot missed yet again. 2 big opportunities there for Xenon. And yeah, TRF missing with the AWP thereafter.
Unforgivable. Just, oh, he made it up. He gets the frag on the T-Rex. At least some men's short for a little time. The rotations are going to be a mile away though, so they need to be rock solid on their hold. There should be a flash accompanying the peak towards A side, and this aggressive stance. It's really, really risky, sneaky. He knows exactly what's up, and the pressure's coming in from long. He just knew what to do. He just held his ground and let his teammates take care of everything else thereafter. Vince could go big on the deny. Ooh, for a second I thought it's a team kill coming in. Luckily it ain't. Underdogs, they're able to hold on to the lead. Red Vipers, a lot of things went wrong there. A lot of factors that should have worked in their advantage simply didn't, and that just came down to sometimes it's that luck, right? Entering an engagement, your nerves not as ice chilled as you'd expect, and the position, even though you are in a good position, you end up overthinking things, and that might end up going down the drain for you. Red Vipers do call the timeout though.
Yeah, there were a couple of situations out at long. They set themselves up perfectly. Underdogs found themselves with at least 4 members out at long. The initial shot missed by TRF. The follow-up by Xenon, a couple of sprays also missed, and then TRF misses a shot moving out. Even if they get a couple of kills there, they walk away from that fight with the numbers advantage, but wasn't quite the case. Red Vipers, they had set themselves up perfectly to take that round as well, but slightly shaky aim there gives that round over to underdogs, and Red Vipers, their money already looking pretty bleak here as they are put in a situation where Vincent has to work with just the SMG. He tries to take it point blank range, but Xenon steps up big with the 2-man spray down. It's down to a 3v3.
And rotations committed to where's the B side and towards B short. I think the connector presence would have been heard from Prelith. So they could try and they could get aggressive towards A, or they could play a little more patiently. The only problem is with patience also comes risk, where Red Vipers could get aggressive and get information. Now they are going to try and experiment with this 2-man setup towards B, where underdogs, they turn the ship around. Parv. He's tagged desperately low, so he needs to be well removed from the picture and still do impact at the same moment, which is possible with the op. This is the time that Red Vipers should take to get aggressive and try having an aggressive crossfire setup towards either of the side. Let it be towards A or B. At least in this way, they will make sure that they thin down the numbers and they'll make sure they'll be on the better end of the information stick. 30 seconds left, and here's where things really boil down. This is where that one crucial mistake might end up punishing you in ways that you cannot even fathom. 20 seconds left now. TRF, if he commits to the wide swing, he would have been dead there. The utility comes raining in, and TRF blind as a bat. They don't commit on the hard clear though, and TRF could go massive. Mind you, Parv is so low, he's still good at getting a kill, but that's all he could find. It was the majority of that round was on T-Rex, because he was the one with HP and the AK. Sadly, that's not going to be the case. TRF plays it to perfection and retrieves the op for Red Vipers.
Underdogs boil the clock down there, and eventually when that A hit comes in, they did not have the time to check all the corners, check the site, and TRF, he pretty much had the best case scenario there. Peeks out, the timing couldn't have been any more better as Red Vipers get their third round on the board, but it's a fast hit towards the B side. Counter utility coming in from the CTs. They somehow managed to get themselves towards short without sacrificing the numbers. Smokes go down, the plant goes down as well. Red Vipers are gonna set themselves up for a full 5v5 retake, OG.
Not something that we see every day yet again. A resemblance of the pistol strat, perhaps. The backstab's been discovered, and the dogs, that was a little iffy. They do only have pistols though, and they didn't manage to get the bomb down. Sneaky, being as sneaky beaky, like it's actually a team kill from Zeno. Boy, does he have a little bit of explaining to do. But 4-5, Red Vipers clawing their way back to a potential equalizer where underdogs, they'd be more than happy with the bomb plant, and now they can invest in a buy. They might lack essential utility like Molotovs and whatnot, but they can still make this one work on perhaps the back of a fast play.
For a second there, I thought the CTs were going to brandish the knife and go for a knife kill. Did look like that was at least running through the minds of the CT. There was playing contact there, but 5-4 Red Vipers. AWP towards toilets, but seems like we're gonna set up for another quick hit towards the B side. A lot of flashbangs coming through, but not having made any inroads early, and damage dished out to Trex, tagging down to 5 HP. Should definitely be enough to at least force underdogs to reconsider this B hit at the moment. They have control of short, and I believe that never mind, the boost up Vincent. Not only does he get the kill, he spotted out the C4 as well.
Yeah, he has all eyes on them. Now, with this commitment, it's going to be iffy because the rotations are going to be very early. The flash easily darts, but not the kill coming in. Zed, in fact, comes up on drop. Vince, a massive double kill to help his team secure this B side. There is simply no redemption here for underdogs. They just go in piece by piece and emerge pieces. Prelit, though, gifted a frag, and he's full HP here, mind you. TRF, he's down to 27. Oh, the clutch could have come in. He's had a bullet. Prelit. Headshot in return. Xenon stabilizes at the end. 5-5 Red Vipers fight and stay in this with the equalizer.
How unfortunate was that? Pralit played that to perfection. 1v3. Needed probably one more bullet there to clutch that round out, but instead it is Red Vipers leveling the scores up 5-5, and underdogs are out of money, OG.
They are out of dough. They really need the bomb plant here. TRF is not been as on point with the op as we've seen in games prior. Zeno certainly stepping up to the fray though. He bags himself 2 kills. There are men close to the response, and Faith won't allow that M4 to be retrieved. Underdogs trying their best at this with the pistols. All they can hope for is a bomb plan, but right now, even that feels like a little too hard and out of reach because the rotation's in towards the east side, if I'm not mistaken, and there should be no way that they will be given that much room as well. Oh, Faith? It allows them to crumble upon him, and King should be able to down this with ease. It's all left on a Parv. With the Deagle in a 1 versus 3, the bomb dropped to its connector as well, and cleanup crew slowly emerging, but Parv though, beautiful shot on the first. If he gets this is more than doable. Oh, Parv, we're gonna go absolutely massive. Oh, wreck at 51 HP, and he just barely shuts it down. 6-5, Red Vipers, they lose a huge chunk of their manpower, and by that, their economy as well.
Why are they even facing that OG? The Deagle up at toilets. They offered themselves up one by one. No trade frag in sight, and they almost hand that round over on a silver platter to underdogs. But Red Vipers, despite the round win, they've tanked their economy quite a bit in the process. And underdogs, they call the timeout, I'm guessing realizing that the fact that Red Vipers almost threw away that round, the timeout does allow Red Vipers to kind of let that sink in. Money is pretty decent on underdogs right now. They're sitting at about $5,000 on average. Should be the full buy coming in. Probably not the AWP.
What do you think that underdogs are doing wrong here? Why do you think that they're losing momentum? Do you think that they're giving away too many individual frags? Do you think that they're not spaced properly? Where do you think that Red Vipers are able to capitalize upon right now?
I think it's come down to a fact that underdogs, right now, for the last few rounds, they've tried the B hit, they've tried fountain control, but that's pretty much been it. The rounds that they did succeed were the ones where they hit long. They were constantly challenging connector as well with multiple men, but we haven't seen that in the last couple of rounds. And Red Vipers have seen a small opening there in the offense that they have taken advantage of. This time around, again, they're playing it slow, trying to set up for the B hit, but they're already 3 CTs in position here, OG. They've got the site under lockdown. 38 seconds remaining. There is no time to make their way through connector. There is a decent bit of counter utility as well. And they've pretty much left themselves in a spot right now because they have to go towards the B site. They've forced out all utility. And Red Vipers can pretty much sit and wait here, play the time, wait for the T's to come and line up like they do. Faith mows them down on the entry, and underdogs, like I said, OG, that attack has gotten pretty one-dimensional over the last few rounds, and Red Vipers have noticed that and adjusted accordingly.
It's turning to be quite the momentum-driven game yet again, Shade, where we assume that underdogs are going to run away with this in the start. Red Vipers have come right back in, and they've come back loud and clear. 7-5 underdogs. They are absolutely. What just happened there? Sneaky just completely sidelined Zeno, and one of the up down in the taking, TRF, he's been on point throughout the tournament, but this is where he needs to step up from his team. He gets the first, and it's down to a 4 versus 4. Mind you, it's 2 Mac 10s, a Deagle, and an AK up against him. So it's easy for them to run them down per se, but without flashes, it's gonna be bodies thrown at him. He needs to be ready for this push, and his team seems to be more than. Oh, what product? This is absolutely insane. They're able to find the frag to the Mac 10, but TRF certainly delivering above and beyond. Should be able to get the last, and he's given part of a chance in this one. He's been on point with the Deagle, but sadly can't claim the last. These rounds come way too close to the wire, Shade. Way too close.
Again, with just the mere pistols, shouldn't have gotten as close as it did there at the end. They were able to cut the distance down to the AWP. That push with the Mac 10 drive by through long, catches the CTs off guard. But the first kill right there, OG, that Incendiary going down maybe quarter of a second late, and the T just decides to hop on over and AK to the face, win the first duel out for underdogs. 8-5 though. The T's, they're gonna come up with a double op setup, OG. Not sure how viable this is, but
What?
I guess it is.
Yeah,
if
I mean, that's when we say something is the cast is curse hitting us, right?
if the CTs rather are offering up duels like that, then I guess it's not too bad.
Wait. The nectar he shall be, and the kill he shall claim, as well as the bomb. But King, he's out in the open, and now he's dead. So left on a bench, a 1 versus 3 Shade. I ain't seen this happening any time of the day. Pralit is given wind of the fact that it's a fake. It's good on the first. They know exactly where he's coming from. Are they going to set up for the skill is the question. Why are they still throwing a smoke towards heaven? That seems a little questionable, Vince. They know exactly where he's coming from. He's going to open the door, flashbang in style, but it doesn't actually blind the play to his short. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. 8-6. Underdogs taste victory after quite the long time, and Red Vipers, you see what it's done to their economy, right? Now they can't reinvest. Even though they won a string of rounds together consecutively, there's simply nothing that they have to show for it. It's only a couple of Deagles, in fact, alongside a Scout and an Ump to try and propel them to win this round, which seems like heavy turbulence to me.
The CTs with the mere pistols, 2 scouts, Ump are gonna try and charge up towards mid tracks with the AWP. Has found the opener and has spotted quite a bit of bodies heading this way. The problem though is the C4 is still here, and Trex just about allows the C4 to get through. He's dropping the
They're
utility.
allowing them to get the op. This could be massive stuff, Shade. This might be what potentially Red Vipers needed to win the round, but they're gonna be in a very iffy position because they have to make their way either through monsters or shot, which both are very, very narrow and tight choke points that the team could just hold all day, all night. Mind you, a lot of defensive utility on the side of underdogs, and this just seems to be an easy ordeal for them. Red Vipers letting a little bit of steam loose at the end of the first half. Fate, beautiful first shot on a sneaky, but it's a 1 versus 3 ahead of him. There's not a single kit in sight. And this should be underdogs claiming their 7th round. Half couldn't end any more even Steven Shade.
It was underdogs getting off to a very hot start. Red Vipers are able to string in 8 of 9 rounds in the middle of that half, only for underdogs to make that resurgence in the last couple of rounds, leaving this dead even here at the half. Red Vipers switching over to the T side. Underdogs called the first timeout of the match here. CT side, we did see Red Vipers switch things up a little throughout that match. They started off playing passive, but once underdogs started to rack up the rounds We see them switch things up, playing it a little more aggressive around the map. The first time around during toilets, second time over up at connector. Let's see if underdogs are going to try and take a leaf out of Red Viper's strat book, or do they have something different lined up here for this second half? OG, what are your predictions? Who do you think is going to take this matchup?
Well, it's been pretty cutthroat, but I feel like underdogs might have the upper hand in this. I'm not really sure why, but it's just that kind of inkling that arises in the back of my mind. Two diffuse kits, not something that you see commonly on the CT side, but let's see if they're going to be able to make it work. Two flashes and a smoke to aid them a little bit, but a quick rush. The CT should be more than comfortable just playing retake. They don't need to commit all that they have to this. This is going to be Red Vipers that are going to be pushing down their throat though, because they're already down towards bank, and I think these engagements completely raw and dry. Xenon, in fact, oh, Vince to chime in with another headshot, and Red Vipers have just set this ace site into quite the funeral home. Sneaky and T-Rex though, chiming in with a kill each, and T-Rex absolutely doing it here on the retake. They have the defuse kit. It's going to be on a Xenon. They're fighting this clutch. They're divided, but hey, divide and conquer. That's exactly what underdogs want to do. Beautiful job on the retake. Red Vipers, they play that one smart as well. They play aggressively. They try to get that early control and that early advantage. But sadly, no cigar at the end. T-Rex, an absolutely mad play towards the pistol round.
Red Vipers, I can understand the early aggression towards bank. They get the openers and they continue to force the issue despite having the numbers advantage, and underdogs, given an opportunity that shouldn't have been there in the first place. I believe that has pretty much been the story of not just this first round, but the entire first half as well. 8-8, we're back to even Stevens. Red Vipers, few pistols to try and maybe get a peek into this. They're not playing it fast though, so they're hoping to try and make a dent in the underdog's defense here. Try and shake it up a little and see what falls out from the team. Nothing so far though. Defense holding in strong. And
yeah, so far so good. The numbers are important here, Shade, as they've kept all five alive, right? So their economy is going to be strong. That's something that we saw plague Red Vipers a little bit, right? Where when their economy wasn't strong, they weren't able to get a couple of these crucial rounds under their belt. Underdogs, they need to be very smart with this, and they are. For now, it's only Vince with the Deagle trying to make his way up connector. It's going to be a really hard battle for him, though. So anything he finds in the way of success is going to be good. Oh! Shows a little bit of shoulder, but he gives him the cold shoulder in the end. Vince trying to be a little lucky with the Deagle, but ain't going to work. 9-8. Underdogs on the verge of hitting double digits. But I feel like as soon as I see that, Red Vipers are going to just come and quickly snatch it back.
Underdogs surprisingly call another timeout here. It's 2 consecutive rounds that they've got under the bag. The first gun round coming in for Red Vipers, and they're going to have a glass cannon AWP in the hands of Wreck-It. No ops on the side of underdogs though. They're sitting on 3 SMGs, and when you have the SMGs go up against rifles, the one thing that you almost certainly have to do is pressure for fights early. You want to get the numbers advantage to kind of neutralize the disadvantage that you have with the SMGs. Let's see if underdogs decide to do that here. Smoke out towards mid, the flashbangs out as well. They take a passive stance towards connector and toilets. In fact, connector, Sneaky is going to continue to push all the way up, I believe. He might have considered heading back over towards the A site instead, because The T's seem awfully interested in forcing the issue here. And that is going to leave Sneaky pretty hard split up at the moment. Nade comes out. The backup with the aid from Pralit is no longer there. He's taken a much more passive stance, and that's left Sneaky all on his own. Can he find the first one? He does. The incendiary does enough to force a response out of Faith. We are just back across. Can he get the second? He does. Best possible result there, but Vincent has opened up the B side. All that work, is it going to be for nothing? He spots the player out.
What up? Oh, that could have been the double towards B short. Rather, it now puts Pralit at a minor disadvantage considering HP. TRF, quick on the rotation, and it's quickly heard from Pralit. Pralit is being as silent as humanly possible. With 20 seconds left on the clock, TRF might be able to pull out a fake and challenge in case Pralit is already here, but that's not going to be the scenario here. Pralit, more than ready. And TRF perhaps is a little bit of nerves, right? You have so much time to work with. You could have positioned yourself where you could fake and test out the water before you do jump out. But he forces the plan and already tries to go for the post plan without realizing that Pralit might have already rotated over. Underdogs. A roller coaster of a round without a doubt, but they closed it out, and a very crucial one in that as well, because now Red Vipers, they're going to invest down to the last penny. If Underdogs break Red Vipers now without giving them a bomb plant, they can just easily secure a massive lead and have next to nothing to pay for it.
The buy comes in. It's not the best one from Red Vipers. A little light on the utility, but looks like they're going to try and force a quick play towards the B side. They found the first. Sneaky, again, needs to go massive this time.
But it was expected. Vince, heads up play from him to clear towards connector. And now the man advantage. Underdogs gonna be on the back foot, at least for this round. They are restructuring their defense to try and make it as efficient as possible, where it would be, if I'm not wrong, Pralit all the way back to, it's T-Rex, my bad, T-Rex all the way back to its sandbags, buying bait and allowing Question to maybe strike from the shadows and try to do as much impact while the distraction spot on the entry. Flashes are out. Oh my god. I assume that headshot was instantaneous, but the Question, he's almost whiffed it there. A 1 versus 2. Pralit, he needs to find the bomb planter disengaging. The bomb is smoked off, and the nade, is it going to finish it off? TRF, down at 38. Pralit, he's eager though. He needs this round and he knows it. Has the Deagle whipped out. Red Vipers, are they going to play for the post plant? They do have TRF, who's trying to fight amidst the pillar, dancing left and right. Pralit trying to be a little quick on the entry. The smoke touch the bomb, the flash, primed for the peak. And he goes down instantaneously. 9-10. Red Vipers winning an absolutely crucial round there, as now they can easily touch towards the equalizer. Underdogs have to equal this one out and make sure that they have the larger picture in mind, which is victory.
The problem there is I don't think he expected the T to be playing out at pillar. I'm guessing he was expecting the player to be all the way back at short and the second one to be rotating through monster, which is why he kind of decides to be up around the side and ends up costing them a chance at redemption that round. Sneaky this time. This fight has been going back and forth between these two guys for the last 3 rounds. Now Sneaky's won 2 of them. Does keep the rounds still interesting here for Underdogs. They are playing with a severe weapon disadvantage here, but if they can cut the distance down, the SMG, the Deagles can still go to work. Man advantage here as the push comes in through mid. Sneaky.
He lives up to his name.
But
very, very sneaky about the, oh, he's spotted. He needs to fall back and he knows it as well. Could potentially try and pose a threat to his long toilets, but he's going to take the more conservative approach and head back over to the A side. T-Rex, he's going to be caught off guard. And now, sneaky with the MP9. He has the Molotov as well. Does not choose to dispose of it though. Parv, deagle out, tries to get the first headshot. Beautiful job onto Xenon. He is down 65 HP, no armor, and yeah, there's no more kills up for the taking. 10 to 10 underdogs. Now they still don't have money to buy shit. This is interesting. I thought they ecoed the previous round, but they forced in a way where they'll need to double eco. They tried to do damage, which they have. They got 2 kills. Red Vipers not given a chance to allow their economy to grow. Do you think this is going to be enough, though, to potentially try and bring this one back after a single round victory, or is Underdogs going to throw this one away?
They have quite a few nades here, and these are nades that are heading in the wrong direction. It is just question who's going to get cleaned up. That should pretty much set up for a quick cleanup from the T's as well. Faith on mop-up duty there towards the end. Red Vipers take the lead 11 to 10. On the T side, the buy will come in for underdogs. AWP immediately out onto T-Rex. And I think the time has come for underdogs to switch things up a little as well.
From take a lead, right? So it's got to be feeling a little, mentally speaking, it's got to be feeling a little good for Red Vipers on the T side that they're finding success. But I hope that doesn't get a little too much to their head because they still have a lot to go.
Something that underdogs haven't done is contest towards a long, but the two-man spray down returned back by Faith here with 2 kills himself. Pushed through the tag, through the smoke. Little does he know the kind of damage that he's managed to inflict there. 3v3. Vincent trying to find Sneaky.
8. That's a chunk of damage. 11 to 10. Underdogs are still alive with this double op setup. I'm not really sure if there's a defuse kit on their side, so they really can't afford for the bomb to go down. Retake would be certainly hellish considering the double up setup again. Push through. Molotov's committed. Are they going to give up the site? Yeah, they are. T-Rex, can he get the kill? No, he can. Nobody even offered the engagement, in fact. Kralith ends up getting the... It's actually T-Rex who finds both the frags, and now suddenly left all on an Uber. This position should be more than accounted for. The smoke atop the defuse. Could the spray be in? Ooh, I assume we got that second one just right around the corner, but it's going to be underdogs forcing the equalizer. 11 to 11. Red Vipers. They have an economy, not the best, but they do have an economy. They can fall back to it. This round is going to be instrumental because if they do end up giving this round away, underdogs are going to get a lot more grounds, and boy, will that hurt for Red Vipers. They fought very valiantly throughout the entirety of the tournament, in fact, and now they have a chance to perhaps reach a safe spot. But underdogs, they're being more than just a contender here. I'm really happy, Shade, considering that the games we've seen today have, at least almost all of them, have come down to the wire. It's delivered for one hell of a tournament.
Right now, the charge through long as a 5-man here. It's just the one. They have a boost in towards the A side, and the boost is undone. 2 players, both taken out. The push from T-Rex is a tad bit too late, and I think they're already considering the save here. 5v3.
Yeah, they can't allow such a play to even happen at this stage of the game. Underdogs really letting it loose. And now, Question needs to get this frag to a struck. TRF on such low HP, he still commits for that peak. T-Rex does find a shot, but yeah, I don't think they're in it to win it. He's gonna try and save the op. Red Vipers take the lead. This is turning out to be one extravaganza of a game, Shade, and they're not even allowing it. Cruelty at its best. T-Rex trying to fend off, trying to hold on to the op. He makes it expensive, but it's just too little too late.
He does pick up 3 kills though. And looking at the money right now, it is pretty shaky for Red Vipers. They will be able to buy into this though, but if they do end up losing this one, it's pretty hard. But underdogs, they've got money problems themselves. It's almost a non-investment into this. The charge through long ball. Oh no. Oh gee. It's the same story again on repeat. USP, speed of 50s. They offer up a couple of kills, an AK over as well. Let's see if they can recover from this though. Vincent, smoke towards short as Faith takes up a position in the corner. C4 should get planted momentarily with 1 minute remaining on the clock. The boost is up.
Yeah, I like this patience coming in from underdog, but it's not rewarding them as much the utility. In fact, choking them just a teeny bit. Faith being shot where the sun don't shine. Where have you ever seen a flick that impressive? What a player, Shade. This is what I mean by showing light to players and teams that we might not be aware of, but who absolutely can ring a bell. What a flick, what a tournament, and what a game. 13-11 underdog. Do you think it's time that we say that underdogs have hit desperation? Because a moment ago it was Red Vipers, in fact. Now the story has flipped a switch and it's not looking to stop whatsoever. The push towards A, Sneaky. He's gonna clear towards B short, and that should potentially call for early rotation. The Sneaky needs to be alive. It's absolutely imperative that he doesn't go down here. Dink comes in. The nade isn't gonna be enough. He anticipates the angle he's gonna peek at, but it's only 1 HP that he chips off. Sneaky needs to disengage. Beautiful frag on a Vince. Long range with the Clarion. The man disadvantage now for Red Vipers, but they still have op up. They could potentially try getting that 1 pick at range and try committing on the back of it. Red Vipers, they are looking to group up. With the fallback from Faith, you'd assume that this should be a hit towards A, but they're a little confused themselves. They're still in the moment where they're making the decision. With 45 seconds left on the clock, you really can't give so much time to this. They're gonna try and clear to his connector. Sneaky. It was imperative that he landed that kill. Rather, all he does this round is get 2 dinks. But that might just be more than enough, Shade. The damage might let alone take them to their grave. And the rotation's committed. Now, with the fallback, they're going all the way towards the east side. It's only T-Rex here on defense duty. The Red Vipers, they have pulled off their fakes, but have they called the demon out? Yes, they have. It's only 1 frag that T-Rex gets. A 3 versus 3 Xenon on 22 HP, but is that gonna matter? Prolith, he's holding the angle through dumpsters, and there is a backstab in fruition. Diffuse kit, non-existent though. Prolith needs to get this frag, rack it in with a tag. Down a half HP. Parv, down Xeno, who was already low from the get-go, giving them the man advantage, but Wreck-It still chiming in with the AWP. A 1 versus 2. Question left up against it. No diffuse kit in sight. It's all gonna be TRF's mind games now. He cannot offer a straight-up aim duel. Question needs to tap the bomb yet again. Time evaporating. TRF in with the tap, in with the clutch. Red Vipers hit 14 rounds.
Cool, calm, collected, Mr. TRF steps up big there at the end. A messy retake from underdogs boils it down to a 1v1 there at the end, but TRF, all the overpass situations he has played, all the maps he has played so far, it boils down to him keeping his calm there from toilets at the end and playing the timer, playing the bomb. The money is pretty darn dumpstered right now. Oh no! The Swag 7, 2 shots to the face, and underdogs. Well, Red Vipers, they've pretty much pulled off a Team Albino right there, OG.
Getting flashbacks, eh?
Horrendous flashbacks. We just saw this exact same thing happen on Mirage, and yeah, it's a replay back out here in Overpass, and it was at 15-11 OG. Is almost a similar scoreline. That match as well. Underdogs. Will they be offered an opportunity like Dada Gaming were?
Because there's only one man who's actually on the side defending. If they're able to get that frag and the smoke to get some cover for the bomb, this is more than just doable, Shade. In fact, it's going to be on the question, and he whiffs. This is the opportunity. This is the opening. Now, Vince, he could potentially... That smoke is a whiff, though. That smoke is a huge whiff. Plant, going to go down amidst the smoke. There's no spray down in sight. King of Overkill is so dead low, Shade. It's gonna be on a Vince to carry the majority of this effort. And this boost, there's a punish, tap, 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 but no kill in sight. Vince, now he's gonna swing wide. They're gonna play this on the back of each other, but he ends up overextending, and through the smoke, Sneaky finds him. 10 on 10 for effort, but none for results. 14-12, underdogs manage to stay afloat here in this matchup, trying their very best to prevent elimination. Red Vipers, their money in the dumpsters. They need to eco this round so they can invest in the next. Underdogs right now, they need to pull out their best. I guess the rest should just come down to dumb luck. Because at the end of the day, Shade, these rounds are getting so dead close, it might as well come down to who's having the better day.
Right now, the rush through connector currently being held by Pralit. He drops the smoke. He did.
Two frags, and the cleanup crew is here. They drop only one man, while underdogs have not gotten to a position where they're comfortable with their economy just yet. Red Vipers, they need only 2 rounds, so they should be a little more relaxed. Having underdogs right behind your tail, though, not a position that they'd like to be in, considering that they were in a position where they can close this out relatively easily. Smoke disposed. Defensive utility towards A. Red Vipers seems like they're trying to commit to an A crunch towards middle initially. They know that there could be potential 3-man stack towards B, which has been the case for a lot of times, right? For underdogs, they've had this 2-man aggressive setup towards A for the majority of their CT half.
Right now, TRF and the rest of Red Vipers take control of playground as well as long, as underdogs for the A site are more than happy to play all the way back in the site and relinquish control of long and toilets over to Red Vipers. 58 seconds remaining on the clock. They will try to regroup up towards toilets here for an eventual A hit. Looking at the utility, there's barely anything here for the T's OG. 3 smokes, 1 flashbang, 1 Molotov. That's all they've got. The CTs, they've not got smokes on them either. They've got, I think, about 6 flashbangs and 1 incendiary. So it's going to be all down to contact play here on the side. Pralit peeks wide and he finds 2. Absolutely massive here.
Oh no! This could be the game changer. If you would have gotten the spray down on T-Rex as well, this is more than doable. The only aspect here that does not favor underdogs is everybody's coming in through both truck and bang, but the nade's on point, and the kill from Question seals things shut. 14 of 14. This is absolutely unbelievable shade. Red Vipers, where it felt like they might close out the game, you were absolutely right for having those flashbacks. Oh, they might not be good, but they're on point, Shade.
Well, timeout called, a tech timeout, but this match has had quite a few similarities compared to the previous one we witnessed as well. There's that one round where Red Vipers had the lead. They decide to play things very fast towards short, feed off 2 kills into the Swag 7, and underdogs have been able to capitalize on the back of that and convert it into 3 consecutive round wins. 14-14. Let's look at the money here. Double up setup for underdogs. The T's, 2 AKs, 2 Galils, maybe a third one coming out onto Wreck-It as well. Utilities gonna be almost non-existent, and Red Vipers, I don't think have the luxury of playing things low here. Else underdogs, when the push comes to shove, they don't have any issues with the utility themselves. They're going to be able to hold down Red Vipers from ever being able to enter the site, get the plant, and get themselves into clean post-plant situations. So the gamble here comes from Red Vipers. Do they sit back and hope the CTs kind of play over aggressive and hand a kill or 2 over? Or do they rely upon themselves and their aim to take them through this clutch round here? And guess what Wreck-It has just invested into OG? It's a Pro 90. The gloves are off.
Oh boy. This is... Well, if it boils down to this, Shade, count me in for any game that goes this distance. The P90, something that often is a meme, but this time, I guess we know why it's not used. T-Rex.
It's a team flash, and the Pro 90 hits the deck, but they will continue to force the issue out here at long. They're not done just yet. The double peek out, boost towards Flower Bed. Oh, that could have been make it or break it. Probably ends the round right then and there, T-Rex, if he lands that flick. It was a very tough shot to hit, but he's got the right mindset. There is a T who's going to peek out wide. They've surrounded him from multiple directions. He's swinging out wide, though. Might cost
Pretty
them
risky
really.
stuff. Flash. Perhaps a beta reaction.
59 seconds remaining. He spotted out the T, misses the second flick. Misses the third as well.
That is something he absolutely could not afford. It's all on a par. He's good to hold the line, but only on a 1. The Pro 90 finally plays a role in this round as Vince uses it convincingly, and it's all gone down the drain. Gotta be questioning his team's position in this 1 versus 2. Oh boy. This is not the way underdogs thought it'll pan out in the end. Red Vipers, for a second there, it felt like they were losing this one, but Question, he's trying to dig deep within himself and try to find this clutch. Both the men hiding towards long. The smoke on top of the bomb. He taps the defuse. He could dodge the spray.
Oh, no! Almost! In fact, it's a team kill coming through.
He's like, I'm gonna get him, but I'm gonna get you as well, just for safety.
That game tantalizingly close. They lined up OG at the edge of the smoke. That was the moment there.
Oh boy.
But all of this started with T-Rex missing a lot of shots on the A side OG. He hits even one of them. That round turns out way different than how it did. And
Come
Red
through.
Vipers now, match point, underdogs, all their hard work is at the cusp of being undone, OG.
This is just one heartbreaking way to exit a tournament if you put yourself in the shoes of underdogs. How they've fought through, how they've tried and tried and tried. Sneaky wants to keep trying, gets the first on offense. 3 versus 4, but it's still doable. Oh, Xenon! A stunner shot there. The smoke towards connector. And this might be the ace side commitment. T-Rex, though, he catches off Cyan towards long. The wall bang connects. It does damage on a Xenon, and he's trying to play this one aggressive. This is the right call. No, question takes him off. It's all going to be on King with the AWP. He needs to go up berserk. What a flick! He could go for the second, but T-Rex to find the final kill and the clutch. Underdogs take this one to overtime. Would you have it any other way, Jay, to end the single elimination nightmare?
It's not ending till tomorrow though, but round of 16 today has lived up to its expectation and more. OTs back to back. Well, it's a deja vu moment for me, OG. This is happening again. Underdogs, can they convert the fairy tale and see things through till the end here? AWP out onto Red Vipers. They will continue to start on the T side here for the first half of OT number 1. But what a story it's been from underdogs. Huge comeback there. 15-15. The question is, do they have enough fuel in them to see this through the finish line?
The double up is quite the expensive setup, even considering that you're in overtime. You never really want this double up setup, right? Because in the off chance that you do lose that first round, you are in a very big economic quarrel when it comes to replying in the second. So this investment from underdogs better pay off, or it's going to be Red Vipers yet again who take the lead.
Right now, Red Vipers play things very slow. 56 seconds into the remaining, and they've barely made any inroads into this round so far. The tension builds. Underdogs have stepped up massive here in the second half. T-Rex, he's missed a couple of crucial shots which would have made the round much more interesting, but point blank range, he hits a stunner. His teammates got his back as well. The peek back out. They're stuck in no man's land. T-Rex continues to... Yeah, they're heading towards B, and a two-man spray out. Okay. Okay.
Right. Something that we didn't expect, but hey, they are here to play. Underdogs, they have that man advantage. A Molotov, 2 flashes. Is this gonna be enough for Red Vipers to potentially try and find a way back? The flash is decent. The angle held too long. Vince. Oh, this Molotov's gonna hold them at bay, and they get a kill each. Underdogs secure this round with ease. 15 rounds is all that Red Vipers are gonna be stuck with. I would question in that decision why he didn't use that Molotov potentially to bait out their early smoke, right? Because then there's a lot more chaos headed towards the side. With that, they could have tried and striked together. But it's gonna come down to the wire nonetheless. 15-16, underdogs now with the advantage. Shade. This undoubtedly has to be the weekend treat that we deserve.
16-15, underdogs take the lead, and looks like the T's are gonna try for a swift play here towards the B side. There's a lot of numbers though here from underdogs. 3 CTs to be precise. Actually, is that 4? Yeah, there are 4 CTs here.
Never mind. I thought for a second with that double graffiti setup they might favor the boost, but a 4-man setup towards the B side, not something that we see every single day of the week. Red Vipers though, is it something they'll expect is the question. But a flash as Vince is also losing towards long. If there's a flash prime for Vince on the entry that potentially blinds Question and Barv, he could do massive work. Flashes come raining in and the boost! Xenon! It's in fact Zed who expected that coming from a mile away, but still ends up paying his life for it. Now the site opened up for business. Question. Beautiful headshot. A man, 2-man advantage in fact, as it just crumbles on the offense for Red Vipers. A 2 versus 2. They boil this one down though. Product position given away. T-Rex coming in all the way from heaven. What a flick! It's all left on offense. A 1 versus 2. Tap, tap, tap at range, but he cannot find a kill. Anticipating a T-Rex towards heaven, but that's not the case. What a headshot! Prolit ends things in vain for Red Vipers. Their money, it's virtually non-existent. What did they invest into? TRF has money for dropping 1 AK. Utility is gonna be a minor point of concern at the least. Molotovs, a crucial part of this T side, is gonna be missing now. Shade, this ship keeps turning, and quite frankly, I'm feeling a little nauseous. I bet the spectators are as well, at the edge of their seat. Underdogs. I can't believe the amount of comeback stories we've had today. In fact, running past the Molotov and a lot of damage inflicted. There could be a nade follow-up coming in. A 3-man defense towards A, but it's still Flanders. Question finally replies in kind. The off CQC doesn't make any result whatsoever. The rotation a mile away from T-Rex. Question going above and beyond. 3 kills, in fact, to cement this round in his favor. And now with the off setup towards heaven. Oh, what a headshot from TRF. Question now in the 1 versus 1 emerging from waters. TRF knows what's exactly up though, but it's Question to make sure that Red Vipers have no business here in overtime.
Well, the deja vu continues, OG. 18 of 15 underdogs. Triple match point incoming here, Red Vipers. It's been a long road so far, a hard-fought road for both these teams, but underdogs prevail here in the first half of OT, 3 consecutive rounds. The money is in for Red Vipers, but they have to replicate what underdogs did to stay in the tournament, else it is all curtains. Peek towards mid. Oh, they're losing the numbers. 2 haircuts offered. And that is a 2-man advantage now for underdogs, as they have triple match point, 3 rifles to save it all. It's down to Vincent, Fate, and TRF. TRF, probably the last chance here. He gets the first opener, but he's got more T's heading in his direction.
It already seems like such an awkward battle, Shade. The positioning from Red Vipers is so poor because they don't have any control towards side. They're essentially trying to play rotation here. It's only Faith who has any kind of real estate, and it's towards A long. Zed, this is an angle that people commonly check, but he's not even going to attempt the clear. T-Rex, he's been an absolute madman, and he's performing the clear. Hard clear, in fact. No, he isn't. Oh, if he gets the double here, it could be done and dusted, Shade. Red Vipers, they are still in it. And now TRF has gotten enough space to work the back lines.
2 versus 3. How the tables have turned this round. It is going to be all down to Vincent here. He's heard the footsteps. TRF hasn't moved into position fast enough.
Oh! Beautiful headshot. TRF, mind you, has a kill. So they have an inkling that there should be a man on the back line. The question is, how do they deal with it? The nade comes in. Is it going to do any damage? Barely any, actually, on a product. They need to disengage now. TRF, backstab in. They know exactly what's up. Question has a Molotov and TRF has a smoke. Is he going to smoke up to his shot? Yeah, double smoke, in fact. Now the Molotov adopts. He can just be comfortable. The defuse being attempted. Is he? No, he's not even burning for it. Question. Oh, what a kill. But he has the defuse kit. He has time. Red Vipers are still in it. And boy, this race is turning out to be one hell of a marathon. 18-16 would you have your weekend end? Would you have your weekend start in any other way, shape? Because this, so much adrenaline that right now my body's shaking for more rounds. Red Vipers given a chance back in this game. The investments back as well. TRF, you've called him out on a trade. He's been not as stellar as we'd expect on the AWP. This is essentially do or die. Underdogs on the verge of pulling up yet another massive comeback. Control towards connector for now. Gifted to Underdogs. Red Vipers, as they take the passive stance, they need to realize that there's a lot of presence towards B shown from Underdogs, and this 3-man stack, it better hold up. It better if they want to stick in for the later segment of the tournament. The Molly being primed towards Toxic. The P coming in. T-Rex yet again finds the opening kill, and this will allow them to collapse on towards the B side. T-Rex going above and beyond. Vince, he's good for the first, and he might just mow them all down. Individual brilliance yet again propels Red Vipers into this game. From somehow, somewhere, they strike, and they strike in numbers. The Molotov will push that out, but he goes in for the peek. Ballsy peek, in fact, gets the kill. The smoke, in fact, is gonna hold TRF away. Parv, 2 HP and a dream. TRF waiting for the peak. T-Rex. There's no wonder he's extinct. He can't beat this. Oh my god, what a monster.
With that, it will be Underdogs taking the win and moving on. OT yet again. Similar scoreline, 19-16. Deja vu of a match that we just witnessed, Apo.
This last game was just as intense as the third game. We had very close games. Both teams, similar skill matchup, but Underdogs, congratulations for making it out of the round of 16, and they move on to the quarterfinals. What are your thoughts on that match, Shade?
Like I said, deja vu yet again. It was a very similar pattern where we had last time it was Team Albino starting strong. Here it was Red Vipers, and then they have the advantage. They are at the cusp of closing things out in regulation time, but that one round mistake where they jumped the gun, playing hyper aggressive up against Mix by on the CTs. Underdogs pull off a very similar story here this time around. They are able to force OT and never really look back after that. Red Vipers kind of lost their way towards the end of that OT, but a wonderful clutch at the end. They tried their absolute best in the second half of OT. Even in that last round, it boiled down to a 2v3, but the T's were able to hold their nerve there and rightfully secure their slot in the quarterfinals, Apple.
All right, once again, congratulations to Underdogs really living up to their name. And that is the last match of the day. And also, we have 3 other teams that have made it over to the quarterfinals, and that is Reckoning Esports, Force Crew, as well as Dada Gaming. So congratulations, all 4 teams. Now, guys, this is the Rise of Legio CSGO tournament you are watching, powered by Lenovo and Intel, and we have AFK Gaming as our media partner. We'll be back tomorrow with 4 games again. It's going to be close. I'm pretty sure predictions are it's going to be close like what we saw today in the round of 16. Competition is tough. So do be here. Subscribe to this channel. You can get the notifications. It starts at 5:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. All right. So without further ado, we're going to close this. My name is Apollonia. I was your host for today. Joining me was Shade, and we also had OG that was casting. Until tomorrow, we'll see you guys next time.
To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.